Are we really drinking the banana bread beer?
Fuck yeah. Why do you think I bought it? What? You don't want banana bread beer? Don't be late.
It's a good podcast, too.
Oh, yeah. That's wild. Are we going to be hearing ourselves the whole time, Eric?
No.
Okay, good. What about our theme music? We can't hear our theme music? Don't worry. We got time. We got time.
Bars.
Heck yeah.
No wrong drive. Banter.
Talking about things. Things we're talking about.
Hey.
So is that just for us or everybody can hear that?
Everybody can hear it.
Can everybody hear us?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
They fucking better.
Because we're coming. We're here.
Because we out here. It's the Lone Ranger vs. Tonto up in this motherfucking I'm talking about.
There we go. Get it out of the way early. Can't
yeah.
forget about it that way.
Let's hear this thing. I feel like we haven't heard the theme song for a while. Keep that shit playing.
Yeah, let
Don't
that
fucking
ride.
fade that shit out yet. Play the whole thing.
No, I'm just
How long
fading it
is
down for us.
How long? About 45 minutes? Play all 45 minutes of it.
97 actually, but that's empirical time. So in America time, that's about 30 more seconds.
Thanks for the distinction.
We got that heat, boy. Uh-huh.
Is my man still making music?
I mean, yeah, why not?
Yeah. Our first guest. Gosh. This is beer. It's spicy.
It's too spicy for you.
Yeah.
I got something for the spice.
We got two things for the spice.
No. We got one thing for the spice. Watch this.
Oh, we're bringing them out. Bring them out. What do we got here? The return of the banana beer.
Yo, so I brought banana beer probably 3 years ago when we first started.
Yep.
It was probably the first beer I ever brought.
I think it was the first beer you ever
And
picked.
fucking Steve shit on it for an hour. I didn't even get it out. Like, I was so excited about it. I thought it was going to be cool. He always brings all these wild-ass flavors. And I'm like, oh, yeah. He's like, oh, you're going to like this mango. You're going to like this fucking guava. Here's kiwi. And I'm like, well, fuck yeah. Banana's bomb. Everybody can love banana. And it's banana bread. Boom.
Boom. That can be a next level. That's a level up for banana.
We didn't even start the podcast. And Steve just started shitting on this beer I chose. And I remember feeling so sad about it. Like, damn. I thought I was going to hit, and instead, I got shit on. And then Steve was going to be late today, so I ran to the liquor store. I was like, what are we going to do?
Bingo.
I know what we're doing. If you don't want banana bread beer, boy, be on time. Know what I'm talking about?
That's right. Yeah. Well, we're going to drink banana bread beer, and I'm actually kind of excited about it. Because
the only way to be.
blonde ale with roasted Pueblo and Serrano chilies is not my.
Here you go, Eric.
Not mine.
Take that. All right. Cool. All right, well, let's knock this out real quick. It's June 22nd, 2023. It's about 7 o'clock-ish, Mountain Standard Time. We're here in Denver. My name is Justin. To my left, your right, that's going to be Steven.
What's up?
Straight ahead of us, producing always, Eric. Hell yeah.
Stop it. Y'all being too loud.
And this Lone Ranger vs. Tonto up in this mother for ya.
Ooh.
You didn't expect that, did you?
No, I wasn't expecting that.
Neither did I. I almost caught myself on surprise. What the fuck
I thought
happened?
you wanted me to respond with something like for your mama.
Oh, speaking of mama, shout out Jane DiLisio.
Hey,
Yay.
shout out Jane DiLisio.
That is my mom.
Mama DiLisio always watching. Our number
right.
one subscriber. Appreciate you.
She's going to be mad when she hears that y'all were in town and just took a picture and left.
We're in Raton?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that where she's at right now?
That's where she lives.
I didn't know she was in Raton. I thought she went somewhere else.
No, both my parents live down there.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, we swung by fucking DiLisio's. I was pointing to Jen. I was like, oh, look, DiLisio's. Oh, look, there's the bank with the swastikas on it. But it didn't mean that at the time, you know?
It's an old building. Yeah, the swastika it was built before the World War, and that symbol was taken.
Before the National Socialist Party took that particular icon and adopted it and then, say, perverted it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's a good term. It's a good term. It's exactly what they did. Got a little ASMR in there for the banana bread beer. Yeah.
You notice it was kind of a soft pop, too. Just like banana bread.
What do you... That was banana bread a soft pop.
Because I bet if you had to pop banana bread, it would be just as soft.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'm tracking with that.
I mean, stop me when I lie. Is banana bread not soft?
It's the best banana bread is soft.
Well, then.
Ooh.
Damn.
You really leaned into that one.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to give us a sip, too?
This fucking guy, boy. He almost drowned. Speaking of drowning.
Jeez. What a segue.
Well, technically, though, there was a...
I don't think they drown.
They found debris that was reminiscent of a catastrophic failure. Meaning very likely imploded, which means, no, they didn't drown. They just died instantaneously. Best case scenario if you're going to die down there, though. You know what I mean?
Was it instant? Do you think it was instant?
Fuck yeah.
So with the implosion, with the air being compressed so much, the air gets really hot. So it gets hotter than like the surface of the sun for like half like a second. Blows up and then you're gone.
Yeah. Well, also, what's imploding is all of the structure around you. So you're being smashed instantaneously by everything around you, as well as the water, the atmosphere, everything that's around you is smashing you at fucking like 16,000 pounds a square inch or some shit. Maybe 6,000.
Can we back up a little bit? Because my experience with this is hearing a few things on NPR, morning editions, and I saw one meme that had like the U.S. submarine and where it swims and where it says this thing was at in this little private vessel. And so when I saw that like last week, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? Why is that vessel going down there? That seems a little weird. And I kind of just stopped listening after that because I was just like, I don't know how true this is or how much I should care. Why does everybody fucking care about this?
I would say a few reasons. One, it's millionaires and billionaires on there.
Oh.
Which is like...
They're worth 100 people each to the news.
Well, it's also like... what am I trying to say? Like fantastical because of that, right? If it was just normal folks, I'm sure even normal folks would probably get a little bit. The thing is that it's so weird, right? We as in human beings, don't typically go down to that place. So, the entire story is filled with like these instances of like claustrophobia and imagining what that would be like and like worst case scenario shit. And yeah, but honestly, yes. I mean, it's a private company. Homeboy's gone down a few times. I don't know about that depth, but I know he's gone down underwater in some of these submersibles. This is like an upgraded version of, his like 5th upgrade. Had not been tested at these depths.
So they're like,
but it's international waters, so it's essentially like the Wild West.
No rules apply.
Nah.
Only international maritime law.
Well, so that's why they were able to just drop it down there and not have it like, it doesn't have to be classed. It doesn't have to be like any kind of safety provisions or anything like that,
And
these people were like,
you know what? We want to see the Titanic Ship.
Well, there's a dude that, but he offered it. So he's like the CEO of OceanGate, RIP, and he offered.
Wait, he's dead?
Yeah, he was on there.
Oh, he was on there.
Yeah, motherfucker died, boy.
Oh.
Imploded.
A billionaire, the richest man in Pakistan, I believe, and his son, another
19-year-old son,
billionaire,
RIP that guy.
and then the guy that ran it.
Yeah, I mean, of course I feel bad. As a human, I just feel bad for other humans. You know what I mean? That sucks, you know. Some people will argue like, oh, billionaires don't give a fuck about no one but themselves. Fuck those guys. Like, okay. I mean, I hear the argument,
They still
but
got a mama and stuff. like,
exactly.
you
Like, they're
know?
still humans. And in a sense, I'm like, that sucks, you know. But I feel most bad for the 19-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Because that boy, he's just going along with his dad. His dad's like, hey, you want to do this thing? I bought us tickets, $250,000 each.
Dude.
You know? I bought us tickets to go see the Titanic. We're going to make history, and none of your friends are going to be able to do this, you know? And he's just excited. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for them to go through an implosion is the best case scenario. For dying, of course. For, you know what I mean? Especially that kid, because I can only imagine if it was a different kind of failure and they're just stuck down there running out of air.
Yeah.
And they're in a little vessel. Their vessel's like as big as this fucking table. You got to sit cross-legged the whole time. You can't even stand up. Like, it's small. You know what I mean? Those shitting and peeing on themselves as they're all fucking scared.
Yeah.
Just stank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then imagine when, because people were like, oh, the oxygen's going to go out. Well, yeah, but when the oxygen goes out, it's not like everybody dies at once. The youngest kid probably lasts the longest just because of biology. So imagine you're 19, your dad and his fucking 3 rich homies are all dead next to you, and you're suffering, dying in the dark, knowing, like, just waiting for it to end, you know? Like, just like that awfulness. So I feel most bad for the 19-year-old, but of course, as a human, that just sucks, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Loss of life is never wanted.
At the same time, shouldn't be doing that.
Should not be doing that.
Yeah, we got drones. Like you can get a pretty good look and not put yourself in any danger at all.
The
Yeah.
whole thing is, one, they're not even actually looking outside. They're looking at a screen because they barely have like a little tiny window by the bathroom. So they could have gone down like 50 feet, hung out there for an hour, faked like the showing, and then come back up. But you know, money don't buy smartness. But like Mama DiLisio just brought up, they were warned not to go by engineer that was fired right before they made the voyage, and had warned them about imploding, says the windows couldn't hold the pressure.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, again, RIP, that sucks. But tell me this. All right, so maybe it's just because I'm obsessed, right? But we did all that talk in our last episode about aliens and shit.
Okay. Yeah.
And as soon as I saw that same graphic where they show you like a photo of the ocean, and at the bottom of the ocean is like the RMS Titanic. And then here's the top. And then 1,000 feet below is where U.S. submarines go.
Yeah.
And then there's 11,000 feet of
Below
water.
that.
And then where they were going. All I can think about is, there's so much space to like park your spaceship
Underwater.
and not be seen.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Just shoot, go on down there.
Oceans are the intergalactic garage.
Boy, that about the coolest thing you've ever said in your life. That was fucking sweet. Somebody write that on a fucking...
Put
on
that
a
on a
poster.
t-shirt.
Hell yeah, that shit was tight, boy. What you looking at there, Eric?
Oh, the chart.
Oh, I didn't see that chart. That one's way fancier than the one I saw. The one I saw looked like it was put together on Microsoft Paint.
Rome. Yeah, no, I've seen a bunch. I've seen like videos of it. But so water is weird, and we don't think about like the depth of things like properly in the same way that we usually do, because like we can look up and be like, damn, that's tall. The Grand Canyon is halfway
Fuck.
as deep. So like if you were to stack 2 Grand Canyons on top of each other, that's how deep the Titanic is.
Damn.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is wild.
Yeah, and I think like it's like you forget about the pressure too, because we don't go to those pressures. So when we think about water pressure, it's like, oh, you dive to like 12 feet, and then you gotta like your ears will pop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of pressure. But I think it's like 0.47 pounds or some shit every foot.
That sounds
Of
about
water.
right.
And so at 12,000 feet, you're talking about like a ridiculous amount of pressure. And again, when people are like, they don't realize, it's like, okay, imagine something that heavy sitting on you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, so people are like, well, how would it implode? How does that happen? Blah, blah, blah. Well, it's like, I mean, you're not thinking about water as being heavy. You're just thinking about being in the water. Mm-hmm. But the water is heavy. It's the reason why when you
all the
pull
water above you is being pulled down by gravity, just like we are on Earth.
Yes.
Right? And it has weight just like any other substance or solid, right? But it's just a liquid with weight. But yeah, you're feeling all that pressure, and the deeper you go, the more it increases, the more temperatures increase, I believe, as well in the ocean, or decrease. I don't know. Is it inverse or?
I think it decreases as you go down there, and then there's a point where it starts to turn around because you're now closer to the center of the earth type shit. And you're not close to the center of the earth, but it's just like you're now closer to the part that's making warmth.
Yeah.
But down there, because that's like Arctic waters. So down there, it's pretty fucking cold. Like a few degrees above freezing type shit. But I mean, so all of that pressure is on you. And if you want to think about it like how something implodes, like what the implosion would look like, think about standing on a can and then just slowly adding a pound to yourself until eventually the can can't hold you and you just fucking squish it, right? Instantly. So you go from like a full can holding itself, and then at one point there's too much weight and everything, it implodes. That's what that is. We call it crushing on Earth, you know, when we're doing it like that. But that's essentially what's happening. So what happened is the vessel itself was crushed by the weight of the water and everything inside it. And which, you know, it's hard to imagine, especially when you think about like the atmosphere too. So like those bubbles, of course, went up eventually. But in that initial implosion, the air is like becoming compressed, which also is heavy. And it's like that's also smashing you. And that's hard to comprehend. But I mean,
You ain't lying.
I mean, it is what it is, right? So we compress air and we fill up, you know what I mean, a tire to 34 pounds PSI. That's putting more
Pressure,
air in that tire than is outside of the tire, like in that moment, you know, which is why it holds itself. It's so much air, it could literally hold it up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so the air at that depth can fucking crush you if it's like, you know, underweight.
Yeah. And you have to like pressurize the vessel when it's down there so it doesn't get crushed. Because if it wasn't pressurized, you can't breathe. It would crush it even faster.
Yeah.
And
well, if you don't depressurize as you're coming up, like as you come up, it could literally crush you then too. Mm-hmm. You know?
Because it's like a balance that you got to keep what we're at the atmospheric pressure that we're used to and adding pressure in the cabin. And then the outside pressure is adding pressure on the cabin as well. And like I said, just a catastrophic failure happened. A window broke or some shit like that. And that's all it takes is breaking that seal of pressure just to, I'm sure, not very long. They probably knew it was going to happen before it did, but didn't know when it was going to happen. And probably just was like, we hope it holds. And by the time they finished that sentence, it probably was done.
I mean, you would die instantaneously though.
Yeah.
So
you like those dudes died and they didn't even know what happened.
Here's an animation that's supposed to demonstrate what it looked like.
Is it real or funny? Oh, no, that's real. That definitely didn't look like that, but yeah, essentially that's what's happening, you know? Yeah.
Crazy.
You know what it reminds me of a little bit? A pistol shrimp. Do y'all know what the pistol shrimp is?
Is that like the fucking, that's one of the ones that fucking punches or no?
Yeah. It punches. And
They have a different name. What's their name? Go
The
ahead.
shrimp that punches?
Yeah.
I don't remember if I'm sure the pistol shrimp does have a
thinking
little bit
mantis
of a
shrimp?
punch.
Mantis shrimp.
Yeah, that one punches. It's fast as fuck too. But the pistol shrimp, I think, wins the award for fastest animal on Earth because it closes its claws so fast that it creates a small vortex of air from the speed and pressure that it's creating in the water right in between its claws. And it will like literally fucking snap it and then blast like a little pressure wave at other animals to stun them and then fucking go kill them.
Wow.
Find a video of the pistol shrimp.
Pistol shrimp, also called, I'm not going to read that, are true shrimp, but mantis shrimp are not actually shrimp.
Well,
What are they, like lobsters?
like lobsters? I bet DJ Khaled would eat both of them.
I mean, don't give me a plate of mantis shrimp or pistol shrimp, boy. I'll fuck them all up.
A little coconut pistol shrimp.
Oh, yeah. Top of the food chain, boy. Don't be alive around me.
Yeah, give me the pistol shrimp slow-mo.
Oh, we hung.
Powered crustacean.
World's deadliest.
Oh, fucking ads. This guy and his ads.
Let's start a GoFundMe for Eric to pay for YouTube Premium.
I have it. I was not signed in here.
Can they hear that?
No. Yes.
Most of the din is made by a surprisingly insignificant creature.
That's wild.
Here.
Ooh.
As the claw snaps shut, it fires a blast of bubbles. Incredibly, as
What the
the
fuck?
bubbles collapse, they momentarily reach the temperature of the sun.
Well, that's fucking wild.
Bam.
This implosion causes a shockwave that stuns.
Fucking
Damn.
the ocean is wild.
Imagine.
Imagine that like a prehistoric large version of that shit.
Yeah, fuck that.
It's like this big. Fucking the size of a goddamn beagle or something.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yes.
Cindy says they can't hear it.
Oh, my bad.
Better put the link in the chat. They can watch it on their own.
Oh yeah, I mean, you guys didn't miss much. For all, it was a dude narrating saying the pistol shrimp shoots air that reaches the temperature of the sun or something like that.
And
then a bunch of sound effects up, something like a western. So there we go. What else you got, Steve?
Well, we talked about the submarine. Thanks for filling me in on that. I still don't really get why. I still feel like there's something else going on that it's covering up. I just don't trust any of our news cycles anymore. Like, what are we missing here? Because we're focused
Give
on
me a hypothesis or some kind of guess of what we could be missing.
something with the Trump shit, with all that going down in the indictments and him getting in trouble, but still running for president. He might run from president for jail. I think that would be great.
I feel like he'd still win.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah, it would be hilarious.
My money's still on him.
Can you run for president from jail? Is that even legal to do?
absolutely.
Can you?
It's even happened.
And then I guess you can just let yourself out.
No, in like I
Pardon
think it was like the
yourself.
20s. Look that up. In like the 20s or the late 1800s.
Of course, it was the 20s. The 20s and
There was a
each of our
dude-
centuries have been kind of fucking fucked up.
I mean, there was a dude who ran for president from jail, and he got like the second most amount of votes.
Debs ran for president in 1920 election
Eugene
while
Debs,
in prison in the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary. He received 914,000 votes, 3.4%.
But Debs was a badass. I don't know. I mean, Trump will definitely get the
It's
votes.
about legalities. We're not worried about who, why. Like, oh, it's cool because we like that guy, but when we don't like the guy, you can't. I mean, it's the legality. So,
Well, I don't know if the Democrats that be and the GOP heads want that look. Maybe they do. Maybe they can't control Trump still. I don't think they can.
Hell no, they can't. That's why they all bend the knee to him.
Well, then you have the people who don't, and they get funny ass nicknames like Ron DeSantimonious.
Oh yeah,
I love that one.
Ron Sanctimonious.
Shit's going wild in Florida all the time. I'm glad I don't live there any longer.
I don't know, dude. I mean, he is trying to act like a normal politician, but do Trump shit back. And it's like, there's a point where you're like, fool, how you gonna win that? You might as well just do Trump shit. Like, just double down on it. You know what I'm saying? Like Trump is winning still.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous. If you want to beat him, you got to be ridiculous, or don't, and just waste your time. That's cool. Whatever.
Yeah, it'll be interesting political cycle, and over the next year and a half. Is that about how long we have until it really kicks into gear?
Gavin Newsom's trying to. He's not putting his hat in, but that boy got his foot in the door.
Yeah.
He's holding the door open. Like, I support Biden. Biden's the man. If that motherfucker dies, then I'm gonna run. But yo, that fool, Biden's great.
Biden.
Vote for Biden. Unless he dies, then vote for me. Biden.
Let's
vote
go,
for Biden.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah, all Joe Brandon.
I mean, honestly, I feel like the election as we've seen the last two presidential elections, I thought that the implosion would be the turning point, and that we would change like the trajectory of our, you know what I mean, of just the way that culture and society is like voting right now and what we're like with. And I thought for sure that like this implosion would change us. And I'm way more on the boat now that like these are the signs of our decaying civilization. And that I don't know if it will change. I don't know if there's anything big enough to change our trajectory. I think it's just going downhill.
How wide is your hour in this? Is it America?
Hour being United States.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't know if it's civilization as a whole.
No. I mean
But
our American
democracy
yes.
is, I think,
Well, specifically our civilization, right? So we don't think about
our
that.
society.
Yes,
Not civilization, our society.
Our society, but our civilization that's built around our society, because that's not the same when you go to other places. You know what I'm saying? Like even, we like to feel so grand, but I feel like right now we're doing everything we can to tank it, and we want to sit here and judge and laugh at billionaires and millionaires for, oh, you guys are fucking stupid. You didn't read none of the red flags. You didn't listen to anything that they told you. All the experts were telling you this, and you went and did it anyways. Pfft, you're stupid.
Titanic 2, Rich People 0.
And then, hilarious.
Yeah.
And then turn around and vote in that way. Mm-hmm. Don't listen to the experts. Don't listen to anybody who's trying to warn or show us a different path. Nope, none of it. Let's just keep focusing on culture wars.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's
the most important thing that's going on in the world right now is not the war in Ukraine or the heating up Cold War between the United States and China. That's not important at all. What's important? Bud Light and Target. Fight about that.
Right.
And it's like, and then there's people coming out like, hey, like there's more important shit to fight about, and good fucking luck.
Yeah.
No one's listening. You're all a bunch of fucking billionaires getting onto a sub trying to go see the Titanic.
Well, I don't even think.
While laughing at billionaires getting in a sub trying to go see the Titanic. Sorry.
I don't even think it's. I don't really blame so much the people voting. Like there are active campaigns to suppress, to undermine, to gaslight all of these people that you're talking about, like mentioning these different things, because the people who have the decisions of how all this shit runs, I don't think they want much of it to change. They don't want
Hell no.
any different. And it takes like people trying to listen and weed out. And then all they did was just fucking poison the well even more. And like, it's so much harder, I feel like, to find good information anywhere.
Well, we don't, but that's wild because we live in the time of information.
Right.
Information has never been so easily attained. And yet this is the time when, we're arguing about fucking whether being trans is worth being a person or not. And like wild shit. That's just like I thought we decided this stuff already. Yeah. Like in the 90s, we went through this. We were like, yo, y'all old folks keep being mean to gay people. Us younger folks are not going to do that. We're not that whack. And I thought we can figure this out. And then all of a sudden, it just turns back. And it's like, well, what the fuck are we doing? Well, what we're doing is we're getting caught by these little chunks of information and not actually consuming any. So rather than consuming any information to learn so that we can like understand the way the system is built, what can make it better, what's making it worse, how to vote, who we should vote for, what types of things we should be voting about, rather than going into the information, we're just skimming the top and taking off like the bits and pieces of whatever's thrown at us on TikTok. Well, and within 20 minutes, all of a sudden, we didn't land on the moon, and
the Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat. There's not really a submarine that went down. It's a conspiracy for Trump.
The moon's a spaceship.
Well,
that's not a conspiracy theory. That's true.
It just rolls. You know what I mean? It just rolls into nonsense, and none of it is like, I don't know. None of it's productive, but you know.
Well, I think we have to understand that the availability of information has made knowledge harder to find because there's so much info out there that's not facts or it's skewed or opinionated or has a different intention that is not knowledge. It's to trick you. It is to pull the wool over your eyes around whatever it is. And the wool has been pulled over our eyes again and again. And we still, like, I don't think it's going to feel much different in the next presidential election of how it felt in the last one. Like, it's just going to be a fucking shit show on both sides. The primaries are going to be shit shows. Maybe we'll see some people come out and then get smashed by the establishment again. Or maybe not. I think they sent a pretty clear sign in the last election to Bernie Sanders and anybody who thinks they might try another play like that. It's like, no, if you're going to put Democrat on your ticket, you're going to play by our fucking rules. We're going to elect the grandpa.
They got rid of the debate.
Right?
They're not even going to debate. You know why they're not going to debate is because Biden is too old to debate.
And you can't let that man go off script. Like,
exactly. And
oh my gosh, how great would it be? Trump and him off script in front of each other again 4 years later. Oh man,
Biden can't even think. Poor thing. And
he fell down at that graduation. I felt so bad for that man. I was like, somebody step in, take this man off the field.
I mean, yeah, but then we got what? President Kamala?
I know.
Fuck, I don't know what's worse. I don't know if I'd rather.
It don't matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
That's exactly the point, right? So it's like we stopped giving a fuck about what matters, and everybody's running on this idea of like the better of two evils, and that's both sides are voting on the same thing, and their metric for what's evil is based on bullshit like COVID and trans rights and fucking all this other stuff. Like you're arguing nonsense while the motherfuckers that made the society shitty continue to fucking stack money on us and drown us in it and not let us have any. Like they only make it better for themselves, but we can't talk about it because we're too busy fucking being mad at fucking Target for having a fucking pride section. And I'll tell you what right now, Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, Target does not give a fuck about fucking LGBTQ at all. At all. None whatsoever. They only saw that it was a point in their business where they could make money. That's it. So this arguing and fucking going back and forth and, we're going to stick it to Bud Light now because, like, so ridiculous. Like, these fools are stacking money on us and taking it from us and not giving it back. And then we have to pay for everything.
And all the taxes.
And all the taxes.
Don't pay their tax. Well,
none at all. Target and Bud Light did not pay any fucking taxes. I'm telling you.
Nah.
But we're arguing about whether, you know what I mean, it's cool to call some dude wants to be called a she instead, or some she wants to be called a he, and we're arguing about these things that, like, who cares? Who cares? Let them be. Let them live.
They're good.
Like that's not what's fucking up our society, no matter what your church tells you, I promise.
Yeah.
It's the motherfuckers who are fucking just stacking the money. And we're talking about, like, again, we're talking about on levels that fools can't comprehend. You know what I mean? In the same way that it's very hard to comprehend what 12,000 feet of water feels like when you're under it, it's really hard to comprehend that 500 people have 99.9% of the wealth. Like, but that's a fucking given fact. Like, we know the 500. We could name them off.
Yeah.
They have all the money. And those fools don't pay no taxes. They have all their money in offshore shit. And they don't let none of us have, man. But then they throw shit at us for us to bicker about and argue about and vote about. While all the politicians, no matter what, keep signing shit to keep giving them money because those guys keep throwing a little bit money down. Here, Congress, here's some fucking lobbying money. Here's cinema. Fucking, what's his name? The other dude?
Spielberg.
No, I mean cinema, fucking,
Oh, Kristen Cinema.
Christian cinema. And what's the other dude? Starts with an M.
Michael Jackson.
McConnell.
Well, McConnell too, but
McCormick.
no. Fucking, I know his name. Either way, all these fucking politicians, the point is that you either know who these people are because you're paying attention, or you have no idea who Kristen Cinema is.
I don't know.
And you have no idea that she is literally lobbying against everything that would help us so that those people that have all the money keep putting money in her personal pocket. It's wild. Joe Manchin. And Joe Manchin and these fucking figures and fucking goddamn Joe Biden and Barack Obama and Donald Trump and literally
All
down
of
the
them.
fucking lane. All of them. The ones you like. Fucking Michelle Obama. She does not have to worry about her bills.
Working you.
She is not concerned if she could pay her taxes or not. Not once was when there was a fucking milk shortage and people were worried about fucking feeding their kids. She was not concerned whatsoever.
Yeah, do you hear
None.
them complain about the price of eggs?
None whatsoever. When fucking gas prices skyrocketed and the price of oil by the barrel was lower than it had been since fucking 2001. Yet the prices were at fucking $5 and we're the ones paying for it. Michelle Obama does not give a fuck.
Capitalism is tough.
None. Fucking, what's George Bush's wife's name? She don't give a fuck.
Deb Bush? I don't know.
She don't give a fuck.
Amanda
They're
Bush.
fine. They're fine. That's why they don't fucking care about you. They're too busy yapping their mouths about, well, it's this and this and this, and this is the way we fix it, and blah, 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 and vote for Hillary Clinton because she's going to change it. No, the fuck she's not.
Yeah, I've seen arguments that the only way that something changes is like revolution because it's so deeply seated in these motherfuckers who have all the control in a capitalist society like we live in, that when all the capital has been put towards the top, they can make all the decisions, all the choices, and especially when all that capital is made on the backs of all the workers in this country, right? And that's why they are so anti-union and they bust unions and actively try and destroy those things from happening. And we see the train shit that happened over the last 6 months, right? Or a year. You see the train union, all that shit they just fucked the train union. Joe Biden fucked the train union workers. And
all they were asking for the train union was about to go on strike. And they were asking for like 3 sick days a month.
Holidays. They were like
3 holidays a month.
Simple shit like getting holidays off and like paid.
The train companies were refusing to give them one holiday.
They were like, suck our dick.
And you know what fucking Biden did? The most pro-union president on planet Earth ever fucking in history, blah, 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 blah. This motherfucker went behind the union's back and signed a deal with the train companies to give the train workers one sick day that they have to use, and they have to sign up for it 30 days in advance. If you work in a fucking train...
You work anywhere. That's ridiculous.
If you're a conductor or you're doing maintenance or whatever the fuck it is, you get one sick day. And you have to know you're going to be sick 1 month before you're sick.
And being on these trains is
That's not a joke, y'all.
This is
what
what
he signed.
It's not like 8 hours on a train, right? Like these trains make multiple 16-hour trips across the country that these people work shifts of, and they're asking for like time off in between this kind of shit.
Did you know there's something like 3 fucking train wrecks and train derailments a day?
No. What?
I found that out when that shit derailed, and I was like, oh, fuck, like, how often does this fucking happen? Look at it. It's like fucking some 1,100 train derailments a year.
Wow.
Wild.
And now all those guys.
And they clean them up within seconds. So, and not because it gives a fuck. They don't give a fuck about the people that are there. They don't give a fuck if they hurt somebody. They clean it up so they can hurry up and get another train through there so they can keep making money. They don't give a fuck about the fools who lost their lives or were injured in the fucking train wreck. Nothing.
Environmental impacts. and
Environmental
chemicals.
impacts.
They burned the shit. They're like, oh, we derailed that shit. We're going to mix it up and burn it.
Burn it so we can hurry up and get this fucking train off the tracks and get shit going again.
And now they're all going on trial now. Even after they came out and like, we're just like, yeah, we did all this shit, thought they'd be cool. And now they're all going on trial for this shit. And they probably won't get persecuted in the way. They'll get fined.
Not at all.
They'll get money. Money will be punished and won't be any kind of, it'll sound like a lot. They'll be like $5.5 million in fines. And that's like, that's what they make in a day.
Fuck, dude.
Like they lost a day on that. And they're like, that's a win for us. We lost one day of revenue.
And then fucking Pete Buttigieg is going to turn around and be like, I did all this cool stuff for us. Look at me.
Buddha everywhere.
Fucking
Buddha
pussy.
judge.
Fucking pussy. Man, oh, man. It's so ridiculous. But hey, keep on arguing about if Elon Musk owns Twitter and if fucking cisgender is a slur or not. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know. I'm fucking frustrated, though.
Yeah.
Let's get off this topic because I'm about to fucking throw this table over and punch fucking Sony's camera because of the patriarchy or something.
Yeah. Careful. Patriarchy will get you.
You know they're all
right
funded
in the
by
camera.
government, by military.
Huh?
That everything is just funded by military. I didn't realize that the ball stadium that we have is named after Ball, like the people that make the
Yeah,
mason jars.
Ball
But,
Aerospace.
Yeah.
Because they were like, jars are cool, but what about spacecrafts?
Yeah, any big industry that or any big company that has a lot of manufacturing processes that are really built in well end up getting hit up by the government and be like, hey, you want to make weapons? And
Hey dog, you want to make weapons?
you want to make weapons?
It's wild.
Think
man.
about
shit up.
it. Defense contracts.
Wow.
Half the money in taxes we all pay just goes to pay all those fuckers and even more money. Like there's so much money in the military. It boggles my mind. Truly boggles my mind.
I think this week they said an accounting error
At the Pentagon
gave Ukraine an extra $6 billion.
and they were just like, oops.
And I'm like, oops, sorry, keep it.
Can we do that for our student loans? Like just
Oh,
accidentally
hell no.
trickle in $6 bills?
Because we're normal people. If that was because it's like some $1 trillion.
If they
of student loans.
accidentally gave everybody back $6 billion extra overall in tax refunds.
If it was those 500 motherfuckers who have all the fucking money and they owed trillions of dollars in debt, they would get rid of it, and the excuse would be that they make the jobs that give the rest of us money. Mm-hmm. But since we want money off, nah, it's against the Constitution. And then they'll fucking use these fucking stupid social arguments to literally pit civilians against each other in
Workers.
the sense of
People making the monies.
like, oh, they'll use it because the thing is a lot of people that go to school are inherently liberal. And therefore, it's really easy to make a conservative argument that they're trying to help the libs and not you. Mm-hmm. And then it turns into some fucking you versus fucking them bullshit. And we're all getting shit on. We're all getting shit on, y'all. Fuck.
Yep, we are.
At least we got banana beer.
You know, we do have banana beer, and this is better than I remember it being.
Fire, boy.
Yeah. Maybe they improved the
top
recipe
3.
with the top 3. What are the other 2?
Yeah.
Modelo and Modelo Negra?
I fuck with Coors Banquet and Modelo.
Did Modelo get highest selling beer for the year or something like that?
Probably. They do a lot of sponsoring.
They do. They really had a come up, though, in the last couple of years, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Modelo was more of a local treat, I felt like, in Denver. A lot of people enjoyed it.
Damn.
A lot of my friends enjoyed it, and then now it's just fucking everywhere.
Bud Light sales fell 24.6% in the period year over year, while Modelo sales jumped 10.2%. Take that, Anheuser-Busch, for making one can.
AB InBev.
Dude, that's the wildest part, dude. Is they didn't even make a series of these cans that you could buy. They made one for this person. It was like, here. And not even for this person. They made a gang. They did one for Big Boy of Outkast. And they gave him Tall Boy, and it said Big Boy on it. You know?
There's a can about all this. I thought they were just
No,
mad
they're just
about-
one. Just one. The for promo, they were making single cans or like a 12-pack for influencers of all different shapes and sizes.
Okay.
And Dylan Mullaney, is that how you say her name?
That's how I've heard it.
Ended up with her own can. And
6-pack.
fucking Fox News convinced these conservatives to run around and shit on themselves as if
I've seen a lot of that. I've seen that.
as if there's this can, as if they were replacing the normal can with this can. Well, first and foremost, who fucking cares? Why the
It wasn't
fuck
even
do
like
you
a
care?
like
Second
it
of
wasn't
all,
even a main story, like a post on Instagram or anything. It was a story that lasts 24 hours.
no doubt. And in reality, it's like, who cares? They gave her 4 cans with her face on it.
Well, the people doing all that goofy shit do care. They want that kind of division
Well, that's what I'm
between
saying.
them and the people that was Bud Light supposedly was endorsing.
Because the
today.
more they can fucking screw those fucking wounds and make sure people don't get past it, the more they can fucking shit on us.
Yeah, because you're preaching to the choir over here.
I know.
You know, and
Everyone's
even,
a liberal at the end of the day.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Fuck if I'd be a liberal, but
They're acting like liberals, like in that same way that they would call out liberals for exact same attitude,
Oh yeah, no.
acting like overreacting over such a little thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, both sides run this idea of shut the other side down. They shouldn't be able to talk. And oh man, that pisses me off too. Which again, I've never gone on that rant on this particular podcast. Not the way I've always wanted to, and I'm not going to today. But
Good.
for what it's worth, I am a free speech advocate, and that means. Oh, you know what? Killer Mike had a really dope quote about it. He said his grandpa told him, "I want to know my enemies when I walk into the room." So even though, and he was saying it about the N-word, about how fools should just be allowed to say it, how when he was young, he felt that way. And his grandpa changed his mind. It was like, no, if that's the way they feel, I want to know it right away. Even though I don't agree with it, even though I don't like it, I want to know my enemies when I walk in the room.
yeah.
You know? And I'm like, what a solid understanding of why free speech is so important. But there's these arguments that people are too stupid to understand. They're too stupid to know whatever. So you have to stop fucking misinformation. And I'm upset at misinformation too. But that means that I call it out. Not that I want it blocked. Because the more you block something, the more motherfuckers gravitate to it. Very fucking simple shit.
Yeah. It's not like they don't know these psychological habits of humans and that they purposely put this stuff out and poke the button. Like social media is built to like heat you up and put the things that get you to react in front of you. And they use those same tools. And you think that's what's at the Facebook level. Imagine at the CIA level and the level that the government plays at, the level that the DNC plays at with like
Dude.
campaigns and think tanks. There's fucking full on hordes of people that are the ones that graduate from these fucking Ivy League schools that none of us are friends with, right? I don't know nobody who fucking graduated from an Ivy League school and did all kinds of fucking crazy shit for the government. I don't know those people, but they exist, and they're in think tanks that think up the ways that psychologically and will abuse us into believing all this, not even believing, but into reacting to all this shit. Because I don't even think a lot of people believe it. They get caught up in the reactions. They get caught up in the arguments and the heat of the moment of feeling included in the group that says rah 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 whatever I fucking believe, and then also pushing against the group that's saying, rah, 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 I disagree with what you fucking believe in, and they get caught up in that shit. And then they start believing shit that's even wilder. Because that group pushes them into fucking other realms of fucking flat earths and the information channels that go down in those paths are fucking wild, but they're built. They're not fucking accidents. They weren't just like some dude on TikTok that decided to talk about fucking flat earth and then it exploded. This is purposeful shit. All of this shit, disinformation, misinformation, it feels debilitating to be online nowadays. You know, I have to use social media as a tool for business, and I think we all kind of have to if you're running your own business. And it's a terrible place. But I feel even still, I get myself sucked in. You give me on some reels, you show me some cars, fucking all day. Whip, whip, ooh, lowrider, ooh, trucks, ooh, Ford Ranger. Fucking love it. But
and I find the comedy stuff, dude, and it's like, and I'll go through laughing and shit but it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's always compartmentalized. Like, I feel like there's a piece where I could like find that section in that room of my brain where I'm able to just run through bullshit and then leave it. And then I forget until somebody asks me some shit in like a serious manner, you know, like that I thought was like, you know, thought it was already figured out. And then they're like, well, what if the dinosaurs weren't real? And I'm like, what? You know? And then it's like some TikTok hole they went down and they don't have the compartmentalization to understand, you know what I mean, nonsense of entertainment versus like what seems plausible because they weren't paying attention in science class that day.
Yeah.
Or they just don't remember the details or they never really comprehended it anyways.
yeah.
You know?
Or forgot it. Just forgot it because they're like, I'm never going to need this information.
Yeah.
Right out the window. Like everybody kind of does with math that you don't use and geometry and a bunch of shit where you learned it. You even probably proved you learned it and then dumped that shit out because you never had to use that shit again.
Yeah, but I mean, gravity is the theory, so like, you know, could be a lie.
Could be a lie. We don't know. We don't know.
That argument is so wild.
I had a friend jump one time, never came back down. It was crazy.
No doubt. That'll happen.
Isn't that the plot of the movie Up?
Yeah.
I thought that was How High.
It was a remake. It was a Disney animation remake of How High.
I don't want to be pissed off no more. What fun shit? Oh, actually, play that real quick. Eric, since you loaded it up. Might
It's a
as well.
24-minute video.
All right, we'll play like the first minute. Or actually skip in like a minute and a half and then play for like a minute from there just to get a good sense because he talks a lot of really good shit at the beginning. And at the same time, if y'all watching this, go check this shit out. This whole speech is amazing. And
I'd like to acknowledge my friend Eric Nielsen and Andrea L. Dennis of UGA for the Rap on Trial book, which they allowed me to write the foreword for, and I deeply believe in the work. Eric is right over there.
All right, 1 second, y'all.
Well, we're letting this load. I put a Killer Mike song on the podcast mixtape this week.
I say free thug. I say free thug. I say free thug. And I say that because I heard some dumb-ass lawyer clumsily recite his lyrics in front of a court and try to say shit that he made up while stoned and high should get him 20, 30, 40 years in jail. And I start with that. I'm going to table that because he's a black man, prosecuted in a black city by a prosecutor that I supported, think she was a great prosecutor. So all measures are fair there. We're going to come back to that. I got to thank two other people before we start. The first person is my grandfather.
I'm going to skip.
Oh, yeah, no. Keep playing right there. Keep playing right there.
Who was barely literate because he had to drop out of school in the 3rd grade to support his sisters, who married my grandmother, who was a nurse and educated and came from a family that owned land in Tuskegee. But he knew a few things, and he knew that those things are fair and just. He knew that the U.S. Constitution promised him a certain amount of inalienable rights, and he deserved them. I remember saying to my grandfather in an uproar, late 80s, early 90s, ranting against racism, the Confederacy, the oppression of the white man. Man, them crackers shouldn't be able to say nigga. Interestingly enough, crackers and niggers were named by the same people. The rich planter class of the South, the rich class of the Brits, who saw poor white people and Africans as disposable. And my grandfather looked at me and he said, shit, I like to know my enemies when I walk in a room. And that helped put me on a pathway to understanding why, simply because I didn't like it, was not enough to shut people up. Simply because it made me uncomfortable was not enough to shut people up. And it was always wrong to use government. And he incited a man at some point named George Wallace. George Wallace said segregation now, segregation then, segregation now, segregation tomorrow. We'll talk about him later. Before I got to the understanding that freedom of speech is for those even who I don't agree with, I was taught to value freedom of speech by a woman who walked like this.
All right, y'all. If y'all never seen that before, y'all never seen it. It's pretty recent. Go check that shit out. He has a really good speech that he's given there, and he's talking almost the entire time about freedom of speech and the quote unquote more perfect union, and how progress is incremental and continuous, and that the idea is not that we're a perfect union, but that we can always be more perfect. And I mean, even though I see the United States in a slump, and its history and its beginning is a place that I didn't necessarily, like, I wouldn't necessarily be like, oh yeah, that's the ideal way to run this. I think the idea of a more perfect union, this idea that we can incrementally make adjustments as we go to make it better and better and better and better, is still something worth something. Even if it started with some bullshit, even if for a long time it's been bullshit, I think the idea that we can continue to make these small incremental changes that have huge impacts over time is it's worth fighting for. But we got to get rid of this bullshit where we're fucking,
I'll just say,
arguing about nonsense.
All those rich people, the top 500, say the same fucking argument for the shit that they want.
Sure.
We got to stop all this bullshit. Giving this money back to these motherfuckers.
Yeah, but
taxes. We got to stop, because it's a matter of perspective in that case.
Yeah, but we're in a bug's life right now.
Incremental change.
I know, and those foods are the grasshoppers, and we're the ants.
Incremental change is the way to go.
And those foods are the grasshoppers, and we're the ants. All it takes is for that moment for us to turn. And right now, they've got us arguing against each other about bullshit, so that we won't turn. And
that is what they're doing.
The revolution.
Keeping us from turning.
Hey, man. But that doesn't mean that a turn is impossible.
No. I mean, it wouldn't.
Implausible, maybe, but not impossible.
I don't know why it's so hard to not let motherfuckers go to work. You had all these people complaining on Monday that they didn't get to go to work on Monday because they didn't agree with the holiday.
Hold on. How the fuck do you not agree with Juneteenth?
Right?
Do you fucking know what that day is? It's the day that slavery was abolished. How are you against that? Shut your fucking stupid,
it's
fucking
a CRT
ignorant, fuck-ass face
holiday.
and shut the fuck down. God damn it. I'm so
CRT holidays. But in the same, what I'm saying there, all we have to do to get a little bit of attention is stop working. You put everybody to stop working in a day, they will start feeling the heat quick. Watch what happens. I mean, that's the easiest way we can not even start a revolution, but just get some power back. Just stop working for a day. Make it a week. Everybody takes a week off in America. Whew, scary proposition.
Dude.
Gonna be lots of scabs.
Dude.
But that's all it takes. In this country, in a capitalist society, that's the purpose of a union. That's the purpose of the other side of this, is to give power to the workers.
Well, what about money too?
It.
Right?
Money
because
too.
remember that one time that on Facebook it went viral and some fuck amount of million people RSVP'd to storming Area 51?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
Imagine if we did that But the idea was we're going to go withdraw our money from the bank.
Yeah.
We're not even getting rid of it. We're just all going to take our money back into cash and put it in our pockets instead of the bank. If we RSVP to that shit tomorrow, they would change half of the fucking shit they're doing.
Yeah.
It's really not that hard, but you can't stop. But motherfuckers won't go because they're so mad at the other person for being a bigot, or for the other person for being a sissy, or whatever the fuck nonsense you're arguing about. And it's like some of those things might even be inherently true, but that doesn't mean that they're stuck that way. A lot of times, that person's a bigot because they don't know no better, or that person's a sissy because they don't understand anything else besides their realm of safeness in their own little zone, and they don't know any other world outside of that. But I'll tell you right now, you take the person that you feel that way about and you put them in the opposite situation for one fucking day and they'll change their mind. It's really not that fucking hard. A racist dude will stop being racist if you put him in a position where he understands now and has to go through and understand what somebody else is going through, change their mind instantly. Some person who thinks that safe spaces is the only place that they should be and that everybody who offends them should be thrown in fucking jail, put them on the other side. And incredibly fast, they'll be like, oh shit, that was bad. Take the thing that they're saying, oh, shut me up. Now turn it on something they said and they'll shut the fuck up real quick about that. It's really simple. But we're too busy demonizing motherfuckers and creating teams and then assuming that it's like good people versus bad people.
And that somehow you're winning in either of those positions when you're the fucking mark the whole time.
Dude.
You're the fucking mark. So break out of that shit.
God damn. All right, well, maybe we could wrap this up. I feel like this is a pretty serious episode. I'm pretty pissed off this whole time, I feel like.
Yeah, we need to get the fan out.
I know. You want to talk about this beer for 1 second at the very least?
Yeah, it's all banana-y, and it smells better than it tastes.
Hell yeah, look at this.
It tastes pretty good. And if you didn't hear the first episode about this beer's been around for a long, long time.
The camera is set to follow faces, so it won't follow that.
When Justin brought this beer in the first time,
They gotta get lower.
I think he said he brought it in because his mom got it or
might be
something,
set to
or
correct
like he
Steven's
got it
face.
for his mom or something something like that. Your mom was involved with why you picked it out.
Yeah.
And they used to have this like really old, very like antique looking motif of a label on the can. It felt very like in an alley in London kind of feel. And then right before he brought that in, they switched the label to this new like fancy fucking beer being peeled in a banana peel with the dots and shit around it.
Cool.
It is a cool logo, but it's so different from the logo that it used to be. Like it is complete opposites of what they used to be. And I don't think they changed the flavor of it, but it's been around forever. Like this beer has been a grocery store, like in all the liquor stores kind of beer for a long, long time. And it's for a reason. It's not bad. It's really easy to drink. If you see it, pick one up. You'll even see like individual ones of it, and it's worth a buy.
Hey, hi, Mom. She's also watching, apparently. Hey, look, your mom is in our only subscriber because I got my subscribers too.
That's right. That's right.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, I really like the beer, to be honest. I typically don't like the beers. Every time that Steve chooses a beer, it's too bitter for me. Mm-hmm. And because this is like, but it's not like overly banana. You know what I'm saying? It's got like a hint of banana, some beer. It's easy. It's smooth. I mean,
if you like Hefeweizens, you'd like this beer.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to fucking drink this beer and fucking run and tell the world about it, but I would definitely buy it again.
Yeah, I don't even think it's a beer that you'd be like, you know what, this is my 6-pack. This is my beer. This is what I drink. No, this is like every once in a while. Maybe once a year, grab
I
this
might
beer.
buy this all the time. I'm not gonna lie.
All the time?
Hell yeah, fuck with bananas. Huh?
I mean, yeah, but just bananas never do that great in beer. In my
Banana
opinion.
Laffy Taffy, bomb.
Not beer, but yes.
One time I got a popsicle that was banana Laffy Taffy flavored. Fire.
What?
I know. Instead of being lemon, it was banana. Fire.
Ooh, strawberry banana smoothies, strawberry banana
Fire.
anything. Light it on fire.
Should we get a strawberry beer next time and then mix
One of the smooge ones, you know, like a strawberry smooge and a banana, make like a little float kind of action, or some strawberry ice cream and put that shit like a float.
That's the way.
Yeah,
That's the way.
I'm into making some desserts with beer, and this would be a great beer to or chocolate ice cream with that, chocolate and banana.
Oh, yep.
That'd be delicious too. Yeah.
Something peanut butter flavored too. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Nope. No, I just couldn't think of something peanut butter to put it in. Fucking just put peanut butter in it.
Throw a fucking shot of Screwball peanut butter whiskey in that bitch.
Just a little dollop of Jiffy. Just a little dollop of Jiffy.
Pronounced gift.
The thought of that just got stuck to the roof of my mouth. All right, Eric, turn the camera to you. You got anything else for us?
No, not when you put me on the spot like that.
Sorry, you're looking stuff up now that you've thought about it. Do you have anything else for us?
I appreciate that you thought that I thought about it. That's cool. No.
Are you looking for the old label?
No, I'm looking at there is the old label here.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I was gonna point you to that direction. That's what it used to look like. So I guess they used to have the banana beer peeling thing on there.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. No, I was trying to see if I could find a comment of someone saying that like this is my shit. I only drink this or anything like that. No, it's just a bunch of people checking in.
Are you on Untapped?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody hates it.
No,
2, 3, 3, 4.5, 4.5.
You should read some of those. I bet some of the small.
The only one that
low
has
ones.
like an actual comment on it is tastes like exactly like banana milk. So GG to drink all 500 milliliters of it. Who's out here talking in milliliters? Be weird about
English
it.
beer.
Fucking Europeans. All right, well, you got anything else here? Steven. No, Eric. I already asked Eric.
Oh, last thing. I think you might have inclined that. I don't think Justin believes this, that trans rights are bullshit. And I just want to say, we don't believe trans rights are bullshit.
No, I think the argument that we're even arguing about this shit is bullshit. I thought we had all agreed that all
just
humans...
wanted to.
I thought we had all agreed that all humans get the same rights. I thought that's the whole point of fucking arguing against racism and against transphobia and against homophobia and against anything. Like against. I mean, it goes against fucking when people are like being discriminatory towards religions, and you know what I mean. Because sometimes I'll tell you that, like, of course, the religions will be discriminatory towards other religions and the non-religious.
Yeah.
And as somebody who's non-religious, those motherfuckers that call themselves atheists will turn around and shit on everybody for just because they have a religion. And I'm not about any of that. I think it's all dumb.
Yep.
Like, we're all human beings. Just fucking stop with your bullshit. And I thought we had got past this. Like, I thought we figured this shit out a long fucking time ago. You know what I mean? Like,
you have too much faith in those people that
Dude.
that are clinging on to the opposite of that truth. That there is something that's special about them more than other people. That they deserve more than other people do because of these other things, that those other people are less than them for some reason. And it's a fucking disease. And like you said, when you show them a different way, when you show them that they're no fucking different than them, the truth becomes
just give them
clear.
someone that they love doing it. I'll tell you right now, most of the motherfuckers who are fucking transphobic or homophobic, and when we say phobic, those words always fuck with me because they're not afraid of them. They're hateful against them. And that's not the same thing. Like, you call it more like transist or homocist or something. You know what I mean? Like, that would make more sense. But in any case, that's not the point. The point is I'll tell you right now, that majority of those people, of course not all of them, some of them are stuck in their own fucking nonsense and they're pieces of shit. People are pieces of shit. That's like, some motherfuckers are just dumb. What are you going to do? Fuck. Can't fix everybody. But I'll tell you right now that if you gave most of those people who feel that way a daughter or a cousin or an uncle or a close a brother or sister, a close family member who goes trans or is gay, and they flip the fucking script after like a month. Like, and they just start to empathize. They see that person as a human and they're able to empathize and understand and then fight forward in that sense. Like, it's really easy. Most of those motherfuckers just don't know anyone. Yeah. And then they sit in their own circle of mirrors, talk like where they only know motherfuckers like them, and so the motherfuckers like them are the only ones that they're cool with, and it's the same way that motherfuckers become racist. People who spend a bunch of time with all different kinds of people are inherently not racist for the very obvious reason that they know them. You know, white folks that are racist against black folks probably don't know very many black folks. Mexican folks who are racist against Asian folks probably don't know very many Asians. Like, it's very simple math. It's not like they fucking know all the Asians and that's why they hate them. I promise. They don't know any.
Yeah.
Like,
Got to make your world bigger, folks. Got to make
Fucking
your
A.
world bigger. Can't just live in those little vacuums that
in any
is
case,
the preference.
yeah, you're right. In my argument, I wasn't trying to say anything about how we feel in any sense like that. It's literally the opposite, that we shouldn't be arguing about none of this shit because it's not real. They have us arguing about bullshit. None of it's real. And, all right, real quick, though, I want to do something we've never done before.
Okay.
We're going to pose real quick for the thumbnail.
We are?
Yeah. And this thumbnail, I'm going to make us underwater. So act like you're drowning.
Give me a second.
I don't know
Where's
if
the
I've
button? Where's the
drowned
button?
before.
Where's the button? Shit, does that not work? There it is. Hold on. Give me stay. Good.
All right, I'll add bubbles. I'll add water.
You told me to act like I was drowning, and then you held your nose and like you were just going to watch me die while you hold your breath.
Yeah.
Fucking A, bud.
Yeah, I'm Rose, you're Jack. Get with the fucking program. And this has been the Lone Ranger vs. Tonto. Been this hoe. We out.
Peace.
One of the first beers I ever drank. Back when it was Wells and Young, used to drink at age 21, excited to revisit. Acclaimed to 48 degrees Fahrenheit and poured into a tulip glass. Pours a clear, light amber, maybe dark honey color with a 3-finger white head with large bubbles throughout. Smells like yeast, malt, and banana. Press the shutter real quick and it should focus. It's a banana beer. Something notable is that it smells not of banana fruit, but banana extract, which I do also love. Slight smell of wax too. Agitating brings out more banana and almost a cupcakey, malty smell. Initial taste is banana extract, back quickly a maltiness in the vein of being robust but gentle. I would call it bready. Letting it sit produces an aftertaste of maraschino cherries for me. As I progressed through it, I tasted that more throughout the whole thing. Drinking more, I noticed a wisp of creamy vanilla before the aftertaste. There's a pleasant bitterness. Unfortunately, this banana for me is really more of a sensation than a taste. Although I will say I definitely keep this in the realm of a beer and not a beverage. The fuck does that mean? I am a fan of super flavored beer as well as beers with a hint of flavor. Mouthfeel is a little watery if I'm being honest. There's nothing to complain about. It's just okay. But it's kind of lays flat in the mouth. We'll buy every once in a while, but honestly, because I love bananas and banana flavor, and this is the only banana beer that I've ever been able to get my hands on. It seems like I was harsh on it, but I do genuinely appreciate and enjoy